Ardana was one of the earliest projects building on Cardano, one that was similar to MakerDAO and to the DAI stablecoin, and one that created huge expectations on Cardano. But at the same time, this project ended up being a huge $10 million rug pull. And this is not speculation, my friends. There is actual on-chain data to prove it, and we'll go through it in this video. As I stated in the intro, there were high hopes for Ardana, but unfortunately this project just ended up being a big rug pull, a project that seemed to have everything to succeed. Even though the founder was very young, he had to gather an extremely experienced team to work with him. As we can see here, he had 2 successful funding rounds with some great VCs in the space backing up this project, and also $10 million raised to deliver on a very necessary use case on Cardano, a stablecoin and a stablecoin DEX that could in fact boost Cardano DeFi that was in their need of stablecoins as there was none at the time. Do you want to know something funny? As I was looking to share more information about Ardana and show their website, I noticed that, as we can see here, their website is currently down, and the founder, who has made millions running the project, still has the courage of putting the domain up for sale for 15,000 US dollars. You know, it's crazy. Some people, they just love money and they are willing to do almost anything for it. I'll share with you the link for the website in the Wayback machine, the version stored from the past, so you can see more information about Ardana if you want to. Summarizing everything that happened, we got the official announcement of the project halting its development on November 2022. You know, before this date, there was already some controversy around Ardana as they were not quite hitting their development goals. But once this news came out, some people thought it was a full-out rug pull, while others still gave the benefit of the doubt to the team. You know, there were a lot of events and a lot of things surrounding the Ardana rug pull at the time, and a lot of interesting stories you should check, and you'll be able to catch up with it here in this video at the top, because at the time I launched a video going through all the topics about Ardana and trying to do an analysis to understand whether it was a rug pull or not. This is a great analysis for you to refresh your mind, but basically, long story short, there were some suspicions of a rug pull, but at the same time, the founder Ryan Matovu was coming out and sharing his version of the facts, stating that they burned a lot of money in development, that some issues there, they got a lot of funds locked in FTX as well, and that he even put some money of his own into the project. You know, when reading my analysis, you know, I had some suspicions, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I told him also some advice of things he should do if he's really a well-intentioned person, and that it was not a rug pull. Advice that he really didn't take it serious. Maybe he didn't watch the video, who knows. But instead of wanting to make things right, he just disappeared. And recently, we came to know that everything he said was a lie, and that Ardana seems to really be a rug pull. They barely had any fund in FTX. They invested a lot of money into risky altcoins with very bad money management, and Ryan just commingled a lot of the funds of the company with his own personal wallet. This is not speculation, my friends. We actually have on-chain data to prove all of this, thanks to the analysis of Xerberus that created a full report on the Ardana rug. I've gone through the report, all 26 pages, and in this video I'll just share with you some of the most shocking proofs, starting with the analysis of the report. The first thing that I believe it's important for us to note is the tokenomics of Ardana. That will play an important role here in this report, and we have 17.5% went to the private sales, 9% to the seed round, 15% for the founder, 40% for rewards, Treasury rewards for the users, and then another percentage for development. But the reality is that the only real founder of this project seems to be Ryan Matovu, and the rest of the team seems to be just working for the project. So they don't have access to the funds and to the tokens that go to the founder. And this clearly creates a misalignment of incentives, as the most important and experienced workers in the team that could really make a difference between the success and failure of Ardana had no incentives to make the company succeed. Looking at the report, the first step was to identify the relevant wallets that were identified with a very high degree of statistical certainty. There are more wallets involved in all of these, but they are not depicted in the report because there is not a very high assurance that these wallets would belong and would be involved in the project or would belong to any of the founders. We have here, as we can see in this chart, the fundraising wallet that receive funds from investments, the target wallet, that is the wallet that belongs to Ryan Matovu's personal wallet. We have the treasure chest, that is the Ardana Treasury wallet. We have the old wallet that was another personal wallet of Ryan Matovu, and some proxy wallets that were used in the process just to transfer funds. And then we have here these investment wallets below, where he did some of the most risky investments. I think one of the first things that is important to note, and that already shows a red flag, is that while the founder and the team stated they were able to raise $10.8 million in funding, the Xerberus team could only find $9.07 million raised in stablecoins and ETH on the Ethereum ecosystem to build Ardana. The Xerberus team believes this is because at some point in time, they double counted one of their transactions. In this image here, we can see the various sources of funding Ardana received. The Ardana team actually took huge risks with the funds, and there was a big commingling of funds. For example, $3.28 were converted to CVX tokens, and those tokens were transferred to Ryan Matovu's personal wallet. They've also sent $3.25 million to Coinbase between September and December 2021, and then $1.92 million were moved from Coinbase to the target wallet, meaning that $5.2 million from the fundraising were sent to Ryan's wallet. And worse than that, the funds that were paid out in stablecoins were converted into more risky tokens where they could lose value. In addition, there were also some part of the funds going to Gate.io, MXC, and Bitmart, likely to provide liquidity and to pay for the listing of the Ardana token in decentralized exchanges. As you know, Ryan Matovu stated the collapse of FTX as one of the reasons that Ardana altered the development, because they would supposedly have a lot of funds locked there. But the reality is that they only sent a total of $30,000 to FTX, a very small percentage of the 9 million they were able to raise. Ryan also used the funds he got to buy $10,000 NFTs and even a CryptoPunk for over $100,000, living the good life with the money of investors for sure. I don't like this kind of license schemes, and if you don't like them either, but you do enjoy a good video exposing them, then please leave a like and share this video with anyone you can. This is also a great thing to do because hopefully by educating people about these rug pulls, we can empower them to avoid future rug pulls. So it's great that we share these videos for people to learn from the past. Also, if you like to watch content related with Cardano, then you should consider subscribing to this channel and turning on the notification bell so you don't miss out on a video. But as we can see here, it's very hard to separate the Ardana wallets from Ryan's wallets, showing that he seems to treat the funds of the project as their own. His own personal wallet was the one that received much of the funds for the fundraising, and the one that was used to pay the bills for the Ardana project, as well as to buy NFTs and a lot of risky and speculative cryptocurrencies. A lot of the funds were sent to safe wallets where they were invested in a range of tokens that you can see here on this list, from ETH to more obscure tokens like Bodo or ERSDL. They were invested as soon as they received the funds in the end of 2021 and at the peak of the bull run. Naturally, Ardana lost 3.9 million on their trading positions from the funds they gathered to build the company, and 2.4 million in these more risky and niche and less known tokens. Still, even with that 4 million loss, we still have 5 million in unaccounted funds. But as noted, that plenty of funds in centralized exchanges, and it's likely they engage in the same kind of risky investments there. And adding up the cost of running this startup, it's likely that they start seeing they would run out of funds soon. While I'm speaking, you've been taking a look to some of the positions and their results, the profit and loss balances. But then, besides the investment, we had a second large stage of extraction from the team. The real rug pull, in my opinion, when the team sold the Dana tokens they had on Cardano DEXs and transferred the ADA to Kraken, where it was sold and the money made deposited into the treasure chest. This wallet contains around 1.4 million USDC, likely controlled by Ryan Matovu. This wallet is what is left of the funding and the extraction made on Cardano by dumping data tokens. Here in this graph, you can see all the transactions that regard the sales of Dana tokens. And we can see how the funds came from the Treasury wallet and the liquidity rewards from MinSwap. There are basically four main extraction events when we talk about the Dana token and the sales of Dana token. Extraction 1 and 4 that were prior to the official rug pull in November, and extraction 2 and 3 that happened in the summer of 2023, where we had the meme coin frenzy on Cardano, and some people were trading Dana as a meme coin, and they basically ended up being exit liquidity for the founders of Ardana. The report states here that 40% of the tokens were marked in a special wallet as liquidity mining reward wallet, but at some point in time, in the 2nd of April of 2023, those funds were sent back to the Treasury wallet, where they ended up being sold and dumped on the community, the Ardana community. Here you can see how the Treasury was depleted. The team started selling the tokens as early as January 2022, and at the time of the official halting, there were only 20 million tokens left. The extraction events related to the Ardana team are depicted here in this chart, and it's important to notice that Ryan Matovu's wallet received over $3.6 million in stablecoins from Gate.io that seem to have originated from these sales, implying that the value was extracted from the Cardano ecosystem, this $3.6 million, and sent to Ryan's wallet on Ethereum. In total, if we sum up the events on this table, the extractions events, we see that there was a total of over 5.4 million made with the sale of ADA tokens from the Treasury wallet. Here we have a graph directly from the founder's wallet. So we have Treasury wallet, that was the wallet that was for development, and this is the 9% that was supposedly from the founders, and they were basically selling tokens before the official rug. The depletion occurred regularly 3.4 months before the rug pull. Then all the tokens were combined after the rug pull and transferred to the Treasury, and in the Treasury we had the two final extraction events after the rug pull, the events 2 and 3. Those were basically responsible for emptying the wallet. So basically, even after their halting development, they are still selling the tokens and cashing in some profits, which is certainly not ethical, and I would say maybe even illegal. So summarizing everything, we can see that, for example, the Ardana team miscounted the amount of funding they actually got, which is not good. Then Ryan just invested into very risky tokens, which even if they wanted to multiply them to have more tokens for the project, the reality, that there was no proper risk management, and $10 million is more than enough to create a great project. In addition to that, there was a clear commingling of funds since the beginning, with the founder sending a lot of tokens directly to his wallet, We also discovered that the founder seems to have total control over all the wallets of the project, regardless of their purpose. And it just ended up selling all the tokens from all the wallets as needed. After them losing the funds by negligence on the Ethereum side, they came to the Cardano ecosystem with their token and started rugging the Cardano ecosystem by selling the Ardana tokens and letting the Cardano community that supported the project basically holding the bags. And worse than that, even after the project was altered, they continued selling the tokens and rugging the community. And for sure, those funds were not used in project development. They were basically a clear extraction of value from the Cardano ecosystem that was sent to the founder's wallet in Ethereum. Even if in the beginning this project was not an intentional rug, which is something we could argue from the start, considering the commingling of funds that happened since day one, then it certainly became one once the founder started dumping the funds from the Treasury and his wallet on the open market, and continued even after the development of the project was altered. I do think we can learn a lot from this lesson and from this rug pull. So please leave a like and share these videos. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you haven't done it yet. And if you enjoy videos on Cardano, and a big shout out for Xerberus for this report. I'll leave the link for the report in the description for you guys to check it out, as well as their Twitter if you want to show some support. But of course, not everything is bad. Those rug pulls are really crappy, but the truth is that there are great products being built here on Cardano, such as Clarity DAO, that makes it super easy for almost anyone to create a DAO. One that is limited and secured by proper smart contracts that manage the DAO and the Treasury without even having to code. You basically just need to have a clear idea for your DAO and for its organization, and a community to join and leverage your DAO. And you can basically use Clarity to create all the infrastructure really fast. You can learn everything you need to know about Clarity and even check a demo on how you can use it in this short video. On my side, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the Clarity DAO video.